The recent assassination of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh by Israel could significantly increase the risk of dragging the U.S. into a conflict it seeks to avoid. On Monday, following an attack in the Golan Heights that Israel attributed to Hezbollah, White House official John Kirby reaffirmed U.S. support for Israel but emphasized Washington's desire for de-escalation. Kirby expressed hope for a diplomatic resolution, even as focus shifts to Israel's possible actions and the threat of a larger regional conflict. Despite publicly opposing such an escalation, the U.S. has increased its military presence in the Middle East since the October 7th attack on Israel, showing support for Tel Aviv. Tensions have been high since April, when Israel killed 2 Iranian generals in Damascus, and fears of Iranian retaliation have been growing. Reports suggest that the U.S. intervened to prevent Israel from escalating its conflict with Hezbollah in Lebanon. The U.S. has also attempted to mediate a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, though progress has been slow. The recent high-profile killings, Haniyeh in Tehran and Hezbollah commander Fuad Shukr in Beirut, complicate efforts to achieve a ceasefire and de-escalate the region. Brian Finucane of the International Crisis Group noted that a ceasefire in Gaza is crucial to prevent further escalation, including potential U.S. involvement. However, Finucane argues that recent attacks have undermined short-term prospects for a ceasefire. Some believe the U.S. could do more to facilitate a ceasefire, especially given Israel's significant military actions against Palestinians. Ray Jarrar from Dawn criticized the U.S. for not actively pursuing de-escalation and suggested that a halt in weapons transfers might have led to a ceasefire earlier. He also argued that Israel's recent actions, supported by U.S. military and intelligence, have exacerbated regional conflicts. Following Haniyeh's assassination, Secretary of State Antony Blinken stated that the U.S. was not involved or aware of the attack. Trita Parsi from the Quincy Institute questioned this stance, pointing out that recent negotiations between Israeli and U.S. intelligence officials might suggest otherwise. The situation raises questions about U.S. leadership and Israel's apparent disregard for U.S. objectives. Finucane highlighted a fundamental conundrum where U.S. military support for Israel contrasts with its goal of preventing regional escalation. He urged a reassessment of U.S. strategies for achieving a ceasefire. As the U.S. approaches a presidential election, Netanyahu might seek to leverage the situation to his advantage, especially with potential shifts in U.S. leadership. Analysts believe that Netanyahu's strategy may involve framing Israeli actions as self-defense, continuing a policy that has damaged U.S. influence in the region. Jarrar from Dawn argues that U.S. support for Israel since October 7th has diminished its regional standing and influence, reflecting a broader decline in U.S. political capital that began with the Iraq War.